is up, Panther Nation? Can I tell you something? Just between us, we are going to be fine. I know, I too was shocked when I realized. Indeed, it was a heartbreaking loss at home on national TV, especially when a victory would have made us the unequivocal overlords of the NFC. But once we get past the knee-jerk despair and the smoke clears, you can take a look at the bigger picture. Yes, we lost to a stacked Eagles squad. Undeniably, we shot ourselves in the foot on several occasions, or face, but we also played a competitive game that we were never really out of. And while a couple of plays made the difference in this combative showdown, we went toe for toe with the NFC's hottest squad. Heck, I would not be surprised if we see this same matchup in January. I'd be surprised if we didn't. There is a lot to unpack from this heart-wrench, and we're gonna get to it all. You know what time it is. This is 3 things we learned. Well, we'll take a look at what this game taught us about ourselves along the way. And let's start off with something that shouldn't come across as breaking news. Number 3, we're not quite there yet. So it's fair to say we were riding high heading into our primetime matchup this week. After all, we were coming off back-to-back victories against 2 of the NFL's best offenses in their respective backyards. A lot of fans began to feel as though we were almost unbeatable, which in itself is a dangerous game to play. More than anything, I think this scrimmage highlighted where we are as a team. Both our strengths and our weaknesses were on display for everyone to see. That's not to say we aren't one of the most talented squads in the league. I mean, we most definitely are. There's a reason we're sitting atop the NFC South. Someone give this man a Nobel Peace Prize. We're an incredibly well-rounded team with peaks that are virtually limitless. But at the same time, we've got a few valleys whose depth can turn into trenches at times. For example, due to injury, a headache in itself, our defensive depth has been largely exposed this year. The free safety tandem of Jarius Byrd is the word, and Colin White Lightning Jones has forced others, like linebacker Shaq Thompson, to spend more time helping out in coverage. As a result, we've lost some ability to blitz the passer. With linebackers occupied downfield, our linemen are forced to prevent the run instead of strapping their ears back and rushing the quarterback. And when we don't, we let a LeGarrette Blount burst through an open hole like he saw a 2-for-1 deal on cinnamon sticks. One weak lick can cause an unwanted domino effect. Not to be confused with an unwanted dominoes effect. You know. Our clash with the talented Eagles shows us that while we have vast potential, we're just not quite there yet. We have the pieces, we just have to put them together. And speaking of not being there yet, this brings us to the next thing we learned. Number 2, missing person alert, our run game. One of the things preventing us from taking that next step forward is our run game. Keeping them from taking their next step forward, our offensive line. A week after posting an abysmal 28 yards against the Lions, the Panthers rushed to the tune of 80 yards on Thursday. Not too shabby, right? Until you realize that Cameron rushed for 71 of them. Receiver Curtis Samuel accounted for 8 yards himself, so there's that. It can't be overstated how crucial a ground game is for a team's success. Not only does it give you time of possession, allowing your defense to rest while keeping opposing offenses off the field, but it often opens up the pass. When defenses put 8 or 9 players in the box, there are less defenders to cover your weapons, and thus softer coverage. Much softer. That domino effect. It's one of the reasons our 2015 offense was so successful despite having less than stellar receivers. Not only that, but it also allows opposing defenses to pull their ears back and blitz with little apprehension of a runner. I've said it once and I'll probably say it again. We have to create lanes for our running backs if we want to be successful. We can't solely rely on Cam as a rushing threat to force defenses to load the box and give our receivers help. If you want to see a real life example, Exhibit A. Though a strong running game likely would have been the difference between 4-2 and 5-1, there were other weak spots in our game. Some of our offensive struggles weren't coming from on the field, but from upstairs. Number 1, Shula, Shula, Shula. Now there's long been a general disdain for offensive coordinator and hip soccer dad, Mike Shula. In 2013, Shula, known for his ultra-conservative play calling, replaced Rob Chudzinski, who was easily the most dynamic offensive coordinator in Panthers history. The Chudster famously called this fan favorite, a play from the 1980s classic The Little Giants, brought to you in HD by the Panthers run game. Anyways, you know what you're getting when it comes to Shula. He doesn't try to out-scheme, but instead out-execute. This philosophy, like everything in football, appears brilliant when it works, and horrendous when it doesn't. So who's to say we wouldn't be applauding the vanilla bean play caller if we were coming off a victory? Me, I'm to say. That being said, I found his play calling to be especially uninspired and frankly predictable on Thursday night. He was so eager to force our inefficient run at times. Every first down, every first down, every first down. Whew, excuse me, bug in my throat. And he would fail to disguise his intent in almost any way. Finally, with nearly 2 minutes left and the game on the line, he called 3 consecutive high-risk, high-reward deep passes. This, despite having more than enough time to drive the ball down the field. This was especially puzzling, considering we had failed to attempt a single deep shot prior to this make-or-break situation. At best, Shula's play calling was questionable. At worst, it flaunted incompetence. But either way, he categorically has to be more diverse in his play call, and perhaps more importantly, find creative ways to get our run game going. Because if he can, we still have an opportunity to be the class of the NFC. Hashtag unequivocal overlords. Well, that is all we have for you today, Panther Nation. If you enjoy hearing me talk football, I recently had an awesome 20-minute showdown with an Eagles fan on a popular radio show. I'll leave the link in the description. You should definitely check it out. It was something. I'll leave it at that. Also, be sure to check out our latest vlog. We went on an adventure down to the vault to cheer on our favorite blue highlighters. It was a great time, and you definitely don't want to miss out. And as always, be sure to answer our question of the day in the comment section. What is your favorite memory down at Bank of America Stadium? Let's get the discussion going. I will see your beautiful faces soon. Stay blue, my friends.
Damn it!
Yeah.
Hey,